Hello and welcome to a Sophisticated Pairs video blog. My name is Erica and today I am reviewing the Fitfully Yours Kristina Soft Cup. We have been receiving a lot more requests for wireless bras lately and I'm trying to address that demand, but it's been a little bit challenging. There's a number of reasons why, but one of them is that it's kind of hard to design a perfect wireless bra. Without having the underwire to lift and separate, a lot of wireless bras fall short in some of the fit, comfort, and lift components that our customers are looking for. It's definitely been a little bit of trial and error, mostly on error, and I've been kind of searching for some great alternatives to what we've been carrying. And the Fitfully Yours Kristina was one of the ones recommended to me by my amazing sales rep, and I decided I would give it a try for myself. So Fitfully Yours uses American kind of sizing, so this is actually a 32K, which is roughly equivalent to a UK 32H. Lately I was leaning more towards being a 32H. I've lost a little bit of weight recently that's put me sort of back between that 30 and 32 band again, which I know makes it a little challenging sometimes to watch the video reviews. So I opted to go for this size, and I think that this is really not that bad. I'm on the loosest set of hooks, and it does feel a little bit loose, like I have a little bit more playroom. I would probably wind up moving this to the middle set of hooks. So I would say that this probably runs very true to size. It's just me being in between those two bands right now is having a bit of an impact. The cup size is also right. I don't have any wrinkling. I'm completely filling out both the front and the sides of the cup, but I'm also not getting any kind of overflow. So again, I really do feel like this is very much a true to size wireless bra. So the fit on wireless is always a little bit different than an underwire. As I said, you don't have that ability to really separate, particularly in larger cup sizes. People who wear maybe that A through D range can probably get a little bit more, but for someone like myself who's in that like double G H plus category, there's just nothing here to prevent the breast tissue from kind of like falling back to the center. So we have to kind of take that into account when we're looking at the overall fit. So for starters, one of the important things is, again, making sure that you're not really coming out the front here. It's okay if they're not separated, but it also shouldn't be sort of bubbling over the top, which this isn't. Again, you also want to make sure that you're filling up the entire portion of the cup. You don't want to have any wrinkling or puckering. The sides should also be pretty nice. You want to watch sides on wireless as well. So if you see this, this is actually pretty nice. It's sitting flush. It's not gaping or pulling. So overall, I would say for a wireless bra, this fits very well. It's definitely pulling the breast tissue front and center. In fact, this design is pretty common with a lot of fuller cup wireless designs. Often you'll see what's basically a 4-section cup. You have these two lower cups with a vertical seam that gives you a little bit of lift and boost. You have your slanted upper cup to kind of contour to the top, and then you have a 4th side panel here, which really brings the tissue forward and makes sure that you don't kind of have this wide look. And I do have to say that I'm definitely getting quite a bit of lift. I'm also getting some really nice forward projection, and the overall shape is not that bad either. Wireless bras, I feel, tend to have a less rounded shape in general than many of the styles that you see with wires. Again, it's really just more trying to get that perfect fit. And I honestly think that the Kristina is one of the best ones I have tried in terms of fit. I really like it. It's actually very comfortable. I would consider this one personally as like a weekend or lounge bra. So I think this is a fantastic fit effort from Fitfully Yours. So there's a couple other things I want to talk about with it as well. One of the complaints that we get with customers specifically seeking wireless bras is the issue of a side stay. Side stays are typically these pieces of boning, either wire or plastic, that are on the side of the bra. Now the reason you find them is because without that underwire, there's a tendency for tissue to kind of try and gravitate back towards the side, particularly for ladies who have very wide roots. So side stays make sure that that can't happen. But if you're the kind of person who doesn't really want to wear a wired bra, a side stay is sort of like an in-between point. It's not a full-on underwire, but it's still something on the side of your body that's more inflexible than the fabric. So that was one of the critiques that we've had, and it's very challenging to find a lot of wireless bras that don't have them. Again, particularly more in fuller cups. In those A through double D, there's a whole different range of what's available. Anyway, way, the Kristina doesn't actually have one. There's no side stays. But the overall design of the bra still keeps the tissue forward. You also have the channel for the side stay. So you have the ability to have that little bit of extra like inflexible fabric here, but it's not any kind of metal or boning piece to sort of poke or stick. The wings on this are also nice and wide, which I like. It gives a lot of side smoothing. You have 3 hook and eye closures in the back, which feels great. Takes a lot of the pressure off, particularly because, again, I feel personally with wireless bras that I get more pressure on my shoulders than I do with an underwire. And I think that the use of that wider wing and the higher level of hook and eye closures really combats the issue of the straps. The straps themselves are fully adjustable, which is great. They are a little textured, which adds a bit of funness to them. They're also a little thinner. I know sometimes people prefer to have the thicker strap, but I think that, again, particularly you want to have that fully adjustable strap, especially with wireless. If you don't, then there's a very good likelihood you won't be able to tighten the strap enough to give you support. This bra is also called the cotton bra from them, which it's very soft, but it does only have like 10% cotton, like 9%, so I think it's a nice element to the fabric mix, but I wouldn't call it a cotton bra, personally. Overall, the fabrics feel really good. I like the fact that it's kind of got like this smoother texture here. The sides are also pretty soft, like right here feels great. I have a big problem with things being too high on my arm, especially when I move forward, and it really rubs and chafes. The Kristina does not do this at all. It's actually extremely comfortable. Like I said, totally a lounge bra for me or a weekend bra, so high on that rating. The overall look is kind of what I've come to expect from wireless. You don't usually see as much in terms of fancy colors and you know, pretty design flourishes. Kristina does go a little bit above and beyond. You do have a lovely little floral embroidery here, as well as some bows on the center and on the straps. And then, of course, the textured strap I mentioned earlier. Sadly, right now, this is the only color, which is kind of your standard beige. It's not terrible. It's actually a nicer beige than I've seen on many other normal bras. This is probably one of the closer matches I've gotten to my personal skin tone. So I don't really fault anything on this in particular, and I actually really like what they've done with it. I think that this is a great entry into the wireless bra range. It's also available in a huge number of sizes. I want to say it's like 32 to 48 bands, and it goes up to a US K-cup in select sizes. So it does have a very large range, which means you can accommodate a lot of different wireless customers. And again, I think that, you know, having this classic wireless design minus the side stay, using this like softer fabric, and then being very mindful of where this hits on the side, all really make the Kristina an excellent wireless bra option, and I'm excited to try it out in the store. So if you have any questions, please feel free to email me at sophisticatedpair@gmail.com. Don't forget to check out our Facebook, Twitter, blog, Pinterest, and Instagram for all the latest news and event information. Thanks for watching!